poppin', y'all? This is Deidre with One Shot Game, man. You already know how the motto go. You get one shot at life, but a lifetime to learn all the game you need to help improve your life. The choice is yours on which route you choose to take. Now, as I always say, you get two choices: the ability to faithfully settle in the life that has been set out for you, or the ability to pave a path towards your destiny. That choice is also up to you. So before I get into the title of my video, I want to say a big shout out to all my supporters. You guys are great. And even the ones behind the scenes, I see y'all too. So, hey, look, the topic of this video is going to be on the fact that everyone in the world is born with a genetic blueprint in their soul. You know what I'm saying? It is identified at the time of birth. People are aware of it except for you. You know what I'm saying? And oftentimes that blueprint will be the embodiment of who you are. But the part of it that they don't tell you is the fact that you're going to have to go through lessons, trials and tribulations, unpreventable circumstances, things that will intentionally try to break you in this lesson of life. You know what I'm saying? I feel as if during your midlife, around 30 to 35, at this point in day and age is when you will be tested on if you learned the lessons that you needed to learn while growing up in life. You know what I'm saying? They were all tests that were put in front of you by your generation that was also put in front of them. But a lot of people end up going through traumatic situations that they can't quite handle the pressure to. And what happens is they end up changing. And if you do end up changing or converting yourself to a dark side because of what you went through and experienced, when it comes time to get to a certain point in your life where the test will be inevitable for people to evolve and grow, it's extreme pressure. You know what I'm saying? But the part that people fail to realize is the fact that the right side of you is your heart, your compassion. You know what I'm saying? Your softness, your love. And then the left side of you would be, you know what I'm saying, the things that you adjusted to that kept you in the darkness. You know? Either way, at the end of the day, they're all a part of you. You can't say that your life was a mistake. You can't say that you messed up here. You can't have no regrets, because you will end up paying for them as you get older by not completely being satisfied with your life. You have to be mindful of the fact that the mission is for you to come out of that journey being yourself, you know? But it'll be certain things that you go through that will have blocks, like a chain around the whole door. You know what I'm saying? And until you get the puzzle piece right to escape out of the door, you'll stay in that room. You know what I'm saying? And what happens is it will have you experience an intense kickback of emotions that keep you stuck in that one area of life. And every day you wake up, you think you're going somewhere, but you're really not going anywhere fast. It's like running in place, you know? And you're constantly on the spinning wheel of getting it and starting over, because of you not correctly using your mind with a series of logic and intuition and feeling to be able to understand the trick behind escaping out of that level of your life. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people underestimate it. It is hard. It's not easy at all. You know what I'm saying? But it takes you fully understanding yourself. You can't avoid the lessons put into your life that were also chains for the people before you who experienced the same things. You know what I'm saying? And got locked into that room with no way to get out, because they couldn't get past the level of circumstances that happened into their life that made them feel like they weren't able to get past that and move on in their life to create a better life for themselves. You know what I'm saying? You can't change your past. You can't change the things that happened to you, but you can make a better life out of them. if you're willing to do the healing to get over the hump. And I think what a lot of people tend to underestimate is the ability to go through those wounds from your bloodline on both sides and go in the middle and come out on the other side being yourself, not captivated by what people want you to be, or not captivated by the pain of going through certain circumstances in life. You know what I'm saying? Listen, and however that looks for you is the whole ability of being yourself without selling your soul. Like, it's nothing wrong with you being who you are. You know what I'm saying? People will have judgments. People will have doubts. People gonna talk about you. People gonna mistreat you. Knowing how to react to situations, knowing, you know what I'm saying, when to give your guidance, when not to, knowing when to play dumb and play silent helps you keep your emotional nervous system intact to where you're not experiencing life from a level of being too emotional because you don't know how to handle your emotions. It's an even balance of logic and emotion that doesn't cost yourself overrated stress. You know what I'm saying? Or, you know what I'm saying, just completely in a state of don't know what to do with your life. That is a toxic way of living, and it hurts everybody. You know what I'm saying? So it's a road untraveled, but it's one that is meant and set out there for everybody, because again, like I said, your soul is born with a certain blueprint, and it's there inside of you your whole entire life. But as you go through life and you experience things, it starts to change route. You know what I'm saying? And you start to convert yourself to one side or the other because you don't know who you are. You're not fully aware of the person you're becoming because of certain circumstances that also stop the people before you. You know, it's a hectic path, don't get me wrong. But one thing I did truly understand is that sometimes people get held back, you know, and they can't make it past a certain level because they refuse to cut off certain energies of the thing that hurts them most from people, places, or things. Like, they get so comfortable with being around it and manipulating it to fit their own narrative as a source of power that they don't know how to detach. And they're not understanding that that way of thinking is also what's keeping them in a emotional loop inside their soul. Your blueprint of your soul is becoming disrupted because you're refusing to stay on the path meant to reveal your blueprint at the end. You know what I'm saying? And I think because of, you know, the universe seeing that happen in a lot of people, it was almost as if he formulated a plan to make sure that people are rerouted and directed right back to, you know, where they started, regardless of how long it takes. I'm gonna do everything in my power to make sure that people are rerouted back to where they started, so they can be able to experience life completely being themselves, no matter how long it takes. That is the mission that's in this world now. You know what I'm saying? And listen, let me explain something to you. How easy it is to rewrite your blueprint, but always come back to it. For instance, everybody know what an Etch-a-Sketch is. Everybody has used an Etch-a-Sketch growing up, right? You use these knobs to create a picture, right? You shake it up when you done, the picture is erased, but it's still an Etch-a-Sketch, right? So then you make another picture. Maybe this picture is a little bit more complicated than the other one. You shake it, the picture doesn't erase all the way. So you shake it again, the picture was really extraordinary and creative. It doesn't erase all the way, so you shake it a third time, the picture erased. That's like how all systems in the world function. When you use a computer or your phone and you're sending stuff or you're using stuff and you act in as if once you delete it or erase it, ain't nobody gonna see it. There are people that experience a higher level of understanding technology that know how to get into your phone and become aware of everything you tried to delete, everything you tried to erase. You know what I'm saying? It's very encrypted into their neurological system of understanding how to be a detective and research the things we think we have erased. That is sort of like how, you know what I'm saying, our generational history is programmed into, you know what I'm saying, our psychological bodies. Is we're born with an original soul blueprint, and we go through life experiencing things, and we rewrite over that genetic blueprint, right? And we keep rewriting the story, taking things out, putting pieces in, see if they fit. But if you look at your life, you'll start to understand that you're never really too far from your original blueprint. It's always there if you have the ability to actually look at your life. A lot of people don't want to get down to that part of their life by just covering up what they've learned in the 3D. To not be able to get in touch with that is much easier way for them to live. You know what I'm saying? Than to actually be pushed into their original blueprint. You know what I'm saying? And listen, they told you in elementary school not to discredit men, but sometimes they are a little bit slower at learning than girls. You know what I'm saying? So I feel as if it's not that they don't get it. It's just, it's taking them a little longer to be able to process the fact that you were not what the world made you out to be. You're completely someone else. You feel me? That slipped through the gates and the cracks, and you were turned into somebody that you're really not. And if you do not go back to your original blueprint of your soul, your life will not travel down the road that you want it to. Listen, I'm all for money. I'm all for the bag. You feel me? I'm in both worlds. I love money. I chased it. I didn't got it. I didn't live good. You feel me? But understanding and knowing that may be a period where you have to struggle to be able to get back to yourself, to let the money come to you. You know what I'm saying? Listen. And that's the part a lot of people don't understand, because you've been living in a life where you became so attracted to physical things. You feel me? That you're pushing away from your soul to stay attracted to things that come and go. You know what I'm saying? They might be here, they might not. You know what I'm saying? But listen, to me, because I dibble and dabble in both worlds, I think the sexiest thing to me is somebody that can have it all and live good and look good and everything is cool. But if something happens that's out of their control, they know what circumstances and things to do to be able to make sure, you feel me, everything is okay. You feel me? Listen, I'm not knocking welfare, but I feel like you shouldn't use it to your advantage if it's another way. But if something happened, God forbid, and you got to go do that, do that. That means show me you a hustler. You're going to make sure you eat by any means. You know what I'm saying? Listen, I'm telling you, I think a person's mind is the sexiest thing to me. You feel me? Because you got to be a critical thinker, a logical thinker, and a hustler with emotion and feeling behind what you're doing to be able to beat any obstacle. Oftentimes people get stopped because, again, like I said, you go through obstacles in your life that has turned off, you know what I'm saying, your ability to process what's going on in front of your face and operate from logic and emotion. You're so attached to the things that you've used to cover up your emotional side of yourself due to emotional abuse, etc., that you can't quite understand what may be happening into your life, that you continue to operate in a way where it's very damaging to who you are. You know what I'm saying? And you're disrupting your soul blueprint. Our soul blueprint for a lot of people my age is the fact that, you know what I'm saying, the ability to truly be ourselves. Not to be what someone else wanted us to be, which is all the programming, you know what I'm saying, that was put into your family. Not the people. They were programmed too, just like you were programmed. And they oftentimes got stopped at a certain level before they even had a chance to realize what was going on. Life was over. Because that's how short life is, you know what I'm saying? But that programming that has been in your family for so long, oftentimes people get corrupted by that, and they think that they're being themselves because they got the good job, or you feel me, they got the husband or the boyfriend, and you feel me, they in a relationship, they got the kids, but really deep down inside, you know what I'm saying, that is an image that you're using to portray to other people like life is good, but really behind the scenes your soul hasn't came here to do what it intended to do. So it causes a bunch of disruptions. You know what I'm saying? People pretend. It be a lot of things going on behind the scenes that people don't see, because we're oftentimes only glorify the good. Like everything is good all the time. Ain't nothing ever wrong. And so people don't get to see that side. But it goes on and it happens. And it's usually because of the disruption of your soul. The lowering yourself down to fit someone else's perception of the world. And it's knocking you off of your original soul blueprint. And when you are in touch with your original soul blueprint and you got to the highest rank in that soul blueprint, you'll eventually at some point match up with people that also match that soul blueprint. You feel me? But it takes time, because again, we've all been stuck in this 3D reality, which had a lot of illusions, had us thinking a lot of ways. You feel me? Had us not really tuned into, you know, why we may be acting this way, why we may be doing this. And listen, you got to be aware of the fact that those were lessons. Those were lessons put into your life on purpose, that the universe whispered into your ear when you were conceived of, listen, you're going to go through battles. You're going to go through hardships. You're going to be tested. But please make sure you do not alter the course and get off your genetic blueprint. And when the time is right, I'm going to put you through a very logical series of tests to test your consciousness, to see if you're really ready for what you're asking for. And when you are gotten to that level where you come to a place where you are aware of the things that has altered your consciousness and you ready to be you, the magic will be revealed to you, the ability of being able to create life the way that you want it for yourself. I cannot expose you to something that you're not going to be ready for too early, because then you'll abuse it and you will either hurt people in your path or you will use it for your own gain, and nobody will win. You feel me? It's really like that. It's really true, and it's really how it operates. And sometimes people get the ability to know sooner. You feel me? Sometimes people, the life lessons in their generation are extended, so it's a little bit harder, takes a little bit longer for them. They might blossom a little bit later in life, but it's never too late. You know what I'm saying? And then people oftentimes get the experience a little earlier. Like, for example, I be telling my baby all the time, you so lucky, because you're getting a chance to actually be able to experience where you can break the soul ties that will hold you back earlier in life, to where some people have to wait until middle age. You can understand the magic inside of yourself early. And again, some people, even adults, get jealous of that, and they'll be trying to control it. And you feel me? Again, being aware of understanding how you use the magic is very important. I could say this to her all day, but she just wasn't there yet to be able to understand. But at some point she will get it. You know what I'm saying? So again, knowing and understand your original soul blueprint, and that is the ability to be mindful of being yourself no matter what. Be yourself. Whatever you went through, whatever you experience in life, whatever you love, whatever is dear to your heart, whatever is important, stand on values, principles, and be yourself. Do not let anyone alter the course of who you are. And when you get to that point in your life, you will start to see how you staying the course proved to be the best thing you've ever did in your life. And I never seen it coming until it hit you in your face. That's the thing. You never expect it to come until you're unprepared. So you can't prepare for growth. It doesn't happen like that. Otherwise, you wouldn't learn the lessons you need to learn, which is going to set you on track with your goal, your soul blueprint. You know what I'm saying? And it's like how we used to, when we grow up, how we used to burn CDs, right? You notice that when you listen to it too much, it'll get to a song and it'll scratch. You can't get over it. I try skipping forward, skipping backwards. Sometimes that works, sometimes it don't. You know what I'm saying? But at the end of it all, the songs are still the same on the disc. You feel me? It's just a little scratch. You might not hear a word or a phrase or two. You know what I'm saying? Listen, that's exactly how life is. Your disc is offset in life while you're experiencing and learning. And then once you get to a point in life where now you have to go back and take those lessons and use them for growth, your disc gets back on set. You know what I'm saying? And now you're able to do and live the way you want, how you see it in your own vision once your disc gets on set. You know what I'm saying? Listen, a lot of people are so attached to things in the material that they don't even understand their soul blueprint. Oftentimes I'm actually truly living in my soul blueprint, and I'm very fully aware of understanding that it's not your timing. You know what I'm saying? It's the timing that needs to happen in the world when the world's disc gets onset. Right now it's been offset for so long, it's taking time to rewrite the whole disc. You ever burnt a CD? I have. I burnt a lot of them, and sometimes it takes a long time, you feel me, for that CD to get burnt with all your slaps on there. So understand life also working like that. The disc been offset for so long, for a very long time, that now it's just getting onset, but it's taking a long time, and you have to let your brain process that. You know what I'm saying? By just understanding growth is not microwave fast. I don't know who put it in our mind that we needed everything right away, right now. You know what I'm saying? Listen, that is not healthy for anyone, you know? So for me to have my disc onset after being offset for like 30 something years, I understand and, realize the time it takes to get it back to that onset. And it's an internal thing first. My nervous system is nowhere near as disrupted as it used to be in the past. You know what I'm saying? And it's a step-by-step process. It's not something that happened overnight, because even as I was going through the journey of resetting offset disc to onset, I still was having temporary flare-ups in my nervous system. When people would use the same energy that I'm trying to cut off and use it back in my life because their disc was still offset. You have to figure out ways on how to handle that, because everybody's disc is not going to be onset because yours is. It's the timing of the universe and the timing that, you know what I'm saying, people are awarded the ability to turn their disc from offset to onset. Because if everybody had the ability to just change all at once, it would kind of leave the world in shock, because people wouldn't have a chance to actually understand what's going on. So you got to give it to people in brackets, you know what I'm saying, in time frames. It's just how life is, you know what I'm saying. But again, once people get back to having their disc from offset to onset, it's almost as if you erase, confrontation. You erase, destruction. You erase devaluement. You erase emotional abuse. You erase criticism. You erase everything that disrupted your nervous system in your previous years of life, which were tests that you didn't know how to solve, that kept your mind in a state of disarray, and it played out in your life, and you ignore it or you understand it. Either way it go, it's still gonna play out. You know what I'm saying? So it's once you get to that onset of your disc that you start to look at life completely different, and understanding that your spiritual nourishment of who you are first then tailors out into your physical experience. You have to give it time to catch up. But at the end of it all, the best possible information I could give anyone to being able to understand your soul blueprint disc is being yourself. Despite everything in life that you went through, are you you? Are you being yourself? And the only way that you can be able to tell that you being yourself is that you are aware of your emotions. You are aware of logic. Not just your logic, but logic of the world. Being open to information. Being open to wisdom of new things. Being open to understanding. You might not know about that because you weren't taught that. You can't just go into it and be like, I know. No, you don't know. You never went through that. You don't know that. You feel me? But you want to pretend as if you know because you're blocked off from someone giving you game. Because again, you're set in your ways. And it blocks you from fully turning your disc on set. You're still offset a little. You know what I'm saying? So again, when you get to that point where you completely content, like for me personally, I don't argue with nobody. I will completely remove myself from the circumference. I'm not doing that with you. You know what I'm saying? Excuse me. I'm not going back and forth. I'm not proving my point. Who I am may not fit your theory of life. You are you. I am me. I can't fit your theory of life because you're yourself. I don't care how much of a bond we got together. I'm not going to be what you want me to be. I'm going to be who I want to be. And once you get to that point where everybody's disc is onset instead of offset, watch how people come together despite differences. Because it's not about, you feel me, being on edge because people ain't living how you want them to live. It's about accepting people on a soul level, for loving them for who they are, despite things you may participate in or you don't. You know what I'm saying? A lot of my friends, a lot of my people, you feel me, are heterosexual, and then I got a select group that's on what I'm on, but I love them all the same. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't no difference with me. You know what I'm saying? I'm with you. Right, wrong, left, upside down, I don't care. You know what I'm saying? I'm with you because I'm with you and who you are and the part of your soul that I can see that aligns with mine that you can't see because you're too fixated on reality. You know what I'm saying? And now we're at a certain place in our life where it's time to evaluate our soul blueprint and get back to who we were designed to be the moment we were born, before life got to us. You know what I'm saying? Then when you understand that, you understand, you know what I'm saying, people in general. There is no disconnection. There is no separation. We're really all one for real. But life creates it to where we're separated because our soul starts taking a different path and we start going down the path of what people want us to be instead of staying the course. You know what I'm saying? Listen, I know it's not easy. Trust me. I am very aware of that and I know, but imagine coming to a point in life where you have no choice. And however long it takes, at some point you're going to make it to the other side. And when you do, it'll be the best thing you've ever done in your life because you will stop feeling as if, you know what I'm saying, people don't like you or you're a target. Like, I don't feel like that in no room. I'm going in there, stepping in there exactly how I am. I don't care if you don't like me. I don't really give a damn. You feel me? I'm not here to please you. You know what I'm saying? I'm here to please myself because at the end of the day, like I said, when that casket closed, it's only going to be me in it. You feel me? But understanding and knowing that I can see you for real. And a lot of people tend to cover that up by getting abused through life until they have to go back and then they start to realize, damn, I don't even know why I was mad at that person because of the labels that were first forced on you as you went through life. Your disc was offset in a major way. So you looked at it through the lens of how someone else wanted you to look at it instead of looking at the lens for yourself. And that is when you become onset. You know what I'm saying? So listen, if you don't know what it is, I just told you. Please make sure you like, comment, share, and subscribe.